And here we are again for another Sunday session. And I'm in a different place today, and I'll explain more once Muzz gets on. I wonder if we can go. No, not that. Wonder if Muzz. Where's Muzz gone? We'll get on. Anyway, I'll start this week. Want to thank the veterans who served and the truckies who cart our stuff around Australia and all the farmers that grow all the food. Because I'm out here at another farm at, it's a bit hard to see, you might be able to see. So this is near the Legends Bar at the old racetrack farm. More about that. There we go. Wonder if it'll work better this week. Adding Muzz.
G'day.
G'day, Muzz. How are we, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself? How's things down the racetrack there?
I was just showing the people before you got on. So here we are at the Legends Bar. Used to get beers out of there. And this is the bar area. The old campfire used to sit around. And you can't see. I'm at the tables and chairs under the undercover area that we built. Well, not me personally. I helped with some of it, but over the years, near the old shop, and I've that window there. I've served a few burgers out of that window there.
Oh, that's mint, mate. So what's the program of today? You're doing the busy bee there today, aren't you?
Yeah, well, so the Perth guys had a change of plans, so it's just me today. Oh. And what I've been up to is, because we're planning a memorial ride, and I'm in discussions with the guy that owns the farm now, I've gone and cleaned up some track. Where he's put fences, I've had to understand that we're going to go around and make a different path. So just to be respectful to his place, and then create something that the people want to join, because it's a once-off, it's a memorial ride, so we're going to minimise the impact, but still see some of the history of the track.
And that sounds really cool, because it's interesting. Like obviously, it's with all these things, as you said, you've got to be respectful of the land you're on, but I think you said it a couple of weeks ago on our first live about the damage that the motor cars can actually do to the tracks. No, it wasn't on our live. It was it was just a chat you and I had. That's right, on a phone call. But about how much bloody bull dust shit they cut up.
Yeah, well, I can even probably wander over, because bonus is the mobile tower. I'm looking at it. It's probably only 1.5 kilometres away, so I'm full reception. So here we are. There's the old Rally Australia ramp.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was like the finish ramp, or that was the start finish line over there behind us.
Yeah.
Sort of hard to see. I'll jump this fence. Glad the hot wire's not on. That could have hurt.
Started with Tourette's going on.
Here we are on tour. This is a proper racetrack.
Yeah, look at
that. So somewhere there. That's it's hard to see. That's the first jump. So we used to take off from here, down there, come fucking rip roaring up here. I'd hit that jump as fast as I could. You get a little bit of air, then you go down, you're ripping around corners over jumps. There's stuff here. So we haven't raced here for 10 years, but half the corners are still there. The dugouts and stuff like that. I'm just wandering over to another bit of track. You can see sort of, well, you probably can't see, I can see the different parts that we took. So I wonder if I'll spin my camera around. Here right. So we used to come over that jump, and slowly we used to go around. There's that little track there. used to go that way and piss off that way. And then as cars got faster, we brought the corner down to here. And then we'd be ripping on around there. But wait, then the cars got bigger and faster, and they were all the way down there.
Shit.
So where I'm standing here, from that little gravel mound, I'd be 30 metres. You could almost get cars landing here. They were having airtime and they were landing there. So then they had to have room. It's because there's the spectators right there.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the feeling of it was almost like a monster truck show every lap. And that was mate. That was a great spectacle. Not that my car ever did that, but I give you the tip: if 2,000 people are standing over there and they're making noise, you do some dumb shit.
Yeah.
You will show off
the crowd
that a little bit. You will show off that a little bit to the crowd.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how many people were running in that event, Stuart?
So at peak we had like 100 something competitors in off-road racing.
Yeah.
Then they used to have a quad bike race. I think that was around 100 bikes or something. All at this track.
That's incredible.
And yeah, so you can't see, but you can still see the tracks. This used to grow grass.
Yeah. And that's the thing, that impact has been huge on that bloody country.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we haven't raced here for 10 years, but all the infrastructure's still here, even though it's a little bit worn down or a little bit neglected because we weren't allowed to, that's the old radio guy, Rusty Bell. Some people might know Rusty Bell. He's a legend on a microphone. He does Fink Desert Race. He does monster trucks. He's a great bloke on a microphone. He's an absolute lad to have.
That's cool.
I get on well with him. But so you had Rusty's box up there, and then you had the chief marshal up there, and timing, all the systems. We had got medical rooms and the CAM's office. So it was a full national event. It was massive. Yeah. I think one year we did a rough tally that there might have been $10 or $12 million worth of cars here.
10 or 12 million. That's insane. That's hard to comprehend.
Yeah. And so my whole rig was probably less than 50. Well, I spent nearly 100 on mine over the years because you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's but yeah, some of those cars there'd be 100 grand in the engine.
Yeah.
And
hot it up to buggery.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you can YouTube it now and watch off-road racing. There's actually there's an event on in Perenjori.
Oh, is it? Yeah, okay.
Yep. So there's a race up there today, happening right now. Well, they might be having lunch now, but that it still goes on. There's still a championship. There's still people doing it, and I'm sure they'd be happy to come back if we said yes. But the farmer that owns the joint has gone, no, I'm going to farm it. I've got to do my business, and you guys can respect that. And we said, no problems. We will respect that. Thank you he still allows us access to tidy things up, get stuff we want to take to other events.
Yeah.
So the club's big in, shifted from what was the national event here, taking it to Kalgoorlie, and then going to a bigger town, you've got more opportunities and stuff like that, but it still requires the same amount of volunteers and core people. So last week before I got on, I was on the AGM call for the Western Desert Races. So I got off to prioritise this because I'm here for you guys, and that's what we're doing. We're sharing with each other.
No, that's cool. Thank you. And no, this is good. The it's interesting about this racing thing. I'm listening to an audiobook at the moment about the Red X trials, and it's called Blaze and Glory. And yeah, so that's really interesting hearing about that, and going from that where they were doing obviously race around Australia, and did some research on it later on. Of course, the biggest thing, and obviously there's something that you're facing now as well, is population's growing and all the rest, and especially over the decades, everything's getting closed in, and in those days, a lot of the main roads were still dirt. I mean, this stage now they've just made it Adelaide, and they're obviously going across another bore, opening gates, and that is the dirt roads, and yeah, it's it's a different world.
Yep. And that's, so there's different, when we go to off-road motorsport, there's like a couple of different levels. So you've got four-wheel drive guys that do off-road, and they can do a club event and go from place to place. And there's some, there's some rules to that, safety and stuff. And then we can go, you can go up a few, there's different levels up from that, creating championships and stuff like that. Then you're starting to talk roll cages, fire extinguishers, all the bigger stuff. Some guys go rock trials or winch truck type events. And then some guys go, well, guys and girls, go rally, which is, so rally works different. You don't always start from the same point. You might liaison to 2 kilometres of racetrack, and then you get down the other end. They go, right, stop your time card. You got to drive by the road rules to the next bit to go, right. And then we come here to what we like to call ourselves is the extreme of real racing, because it takes 2 balls to do this one. And it takes 1 ball to play football and soccer.
Love it. Yeah.
But here, it's, start line's there. And then we would do it, when it started, it was probably a 25, 30K loop. And they do 10 laps for the weekend type thing. And if you survived, you did well. Because the natural attrition of an off-road race is about 50% still.
Attrition, what's that mean?
So if you had 100 starters, only 50 might finish the whole distance.
Understood. Yeah, understood.
It's the fatigue on the car. So, we go through the washouts and around the dam and over the rocks and over the jumps and stuff. And by the time you do that 5, 6, 10 times, you are pounding a vehicle. Yeah. And if you have those camera moments or crowd moments like I had my share, and the right foot gets a little bit heavier, you might spin out on that corner down there, or you might just go a little bit too hard over that jump and you'll smash the front end of your car and things like that. And you'll get the biggest cheer, but you won't have finished.
No, that's right.
And that's the thing. But those were really happy times, and memories I've got of this place, not just racing. I met my ex-wife here and started a family and all that. And I'm not the only person that has met their wife here and started a family and lived happily ever after. But so this place to me has a lot of blood, sweat and tears for various reasons. And even today, so I've done 3 hours, and I'll probably spend an hour and a half on a chainsaw this morning, clearing trees off bits, because trying to be, in organising this, to respect the guy, to get him back to the start line, have a beer for him, and then back to town. Got to be respectful to the farmer's business, and there's stuff, old racetrack that he's fenced off. There's stuff that I can get to by opening a gate. Yeah. And then there's stuff that we just got to go, all right, we just got to go around. but you can't just cut up the edge of a guy's paddock because you're doing something. You got. This is what I'll explain to the guys before we do the run. Is I'll get on the mic and I go, right, fellas, this is a respectful thing for the man. You might see some old racetrack stuff and you might get the urge to create what was. You have to resist that urge. You can't have what was. You have to respect the journey and particularly respect the farmer now because of how it affects his business financially. Like the years of, I can't see any in the paddock now, but some of the years, there'd be a 5 to 10 year minimum impact if we raced across a paddock, through the middle of it or something, just to get to go turn around a tree and come back. That rut that we would create, you'd move that much topsoil. That'd be non-productive next year. Might take you 2 or 3 years to get some production back.
Yeah.
And even driving around today on some of the old stuff where we used to race on the edge of the paddock on the fence line, and as the cars got bigger, it got wider and wider. And this guy's tried to crop it a few times, and you can see the difference between productive land and unproductive land in
Absolutely
the thickness. And he's trying to make $1 here. He's doing okay at it, but you still have to respect the guy's property, and then in respect to the man that we're doing it for, there has to be a lot of respect given, taken, all that sort of stuff.
And I mean, I don't know what you guys have an arrangement with him for, but the fact of the matter is that he's allowing you the use of his property for a hobby, expensive hobby, but a hobby all the same.
Yep.
For new memories for you guys to be made at a loss for his business. Yeah.
Yeah. So trying to minimise impact that way is the idea. Yeah. Stick to his tracks, or as tight on the fence. If we want to get to an old part of the racetrack, we'll be as tight on the fence line as humanly possible. Because in the memorial ride, there will be anything from my 2-wheel drive little escort vehicle, and it'll be like a Pony Express. It'll be a follow the leader scenario. There won't be any overtaking and stuff. So you got to resist the urge, fellas.
So you're there to put the brakes on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I might have to have someone in the car with me to keep the brakes on me.
Absolutely.
Because so there's a whole big cumulative effect of what that guy. He hasn't let us race here as an event because he can see the impact of that. But he's honoured us enough to honour a mate to go. He said to me, "Look, you look after it. I don't want to deal with it, right? I got no problems with you guys doing it, but understand it's only happening once." I've gone, "No problems. That's all we're asking." I said, "If any of the fences get broken, I'm coming to fix it. If anything gets damaged, anyone steps out of line, it's me that's going to deal with it. I will take full responsibility for 100 other people's actions," which I don't. That's insane. But he's then said to me, he goes, "All right, you go. I hear that you're going to respect me and my business, so you go and organise what you've got to organise. I'll let you do it. I trust you.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to betray that trust by going somewhere. I can't move fences. I can open and shut gates. I open gates to go somewhere on the day, but then I have to make sure that someone shuts them behind and things like that, because this guy's a sheep and grain farmer, so you've got to not scare the sheep and go where you're going to go and have your fun, and then we'll all get here. Might have a little beer for the fella and make some more memories and head back to the other place. So the Off-Road Museum in town is part of the telling the story of what happened here.
Yeah.
They've got a museum in town, so then that's some touristy stuff that people can look at and see cars and sit in stuff. So, and
that's pretty exciting.
You go.
No, I was just saying it's pretty exciting. Like, have the race to celebrate your mate, and as you said, creating new memories, but also tying in the off-road museum that you've been working hard at as well. Like, it'd be a great way to open it up again. As you said, for tour, well, not open it up again, but
that's
another way to advertise it.
Official opening. Yeah, it's part of the official opening, and then
there you go.
That'll do. It's a big parade and la-di-da about opening it, and then what you get is people there to take videos and stuff to then put in your TV ads and put on posters and stuff to go, look, this is how popular the off-road museum is. Come see what we used to do. And then that's one way to create the advertising. But it will be a solid place where people get to look at the memories. I've been loosely employed to, so young fella at home's got a VR headset, right? And I said, over a few beers that we're having, I said, what if I could get one of these headsets and I could get my old race car video, just the plain and simple, because I've got one where it's just it's a 5K, like 5-6 minute thing, and it's uncut, no music, just raw race car video. So that would be a start point, because then there's heaps of other guys that have got 360 cam videos and stuff now, so we can level it up. But to have someone to be able to sit in a chair, in a race seat, put the VR headset on, someone presses play, and then you're there. Bang, you're on the start line. Car takes off, and you're sitting in a chair in the museum, living that moment. To be able to share that with people, to go, this is what it felt like. This is how awesome it was. You know, be not just tourists, but when I play the DVD at home for my kids, because it's proof that Daddy used to be a race car driver. He's not just this crippled old man now. But you sit there and you turn the TV right up and you hear the roar of the engine, and you sit there close and go, this is what Dad used to love, and go spend most of his year, you'd be working to go and do this. Yeah. Go work to play harder, and you'd go back to work to play even harder, and then something would break, and you go back to work and play harder. You do something else, start another business. You'd do whatever it took to go back, which is one of the reasons why I started this online business, to realise this dream again. So there'll be a point in time where I will fix the old race car, and we'll go back racing. Might not be here. It'll be somewhere. Me and the kids will go racing, and then I'll get a bigger and faster one, and then I'll be that crippled old race car owner, not a race car driver.
But still part of it though, Stuart, which is amazing, and still, able to live your passion.
Yeah, and that's right, and that's probably the best way to live life for mental health. To have a goal, have a way to get there, and then be able to work at that and have fun with it. Come here and get my hands dirty, make a few videos, take a few photos. I've then got some stuff that I can share on my social media, because that's what we're doing, sharing our lives on social media.
Absolutely.
So, and that's part of the storytelling, like I did on my page. Did some posts during the week on my page that went deep into the start point of the mental side of starting this business. Confidence, fear, or overconfidence, thinking I knew what I was doing or I could do it, and then finding out how much work I actually had to do, not physically, but in here. So unlocking the stuff in here to be able to articulate my story. Because something
Which is it's a tough road to run.
Yeah, it is. And the more I dig, it's one of those funny things about, growing up being a man, and they go, you don't have to cry. You're too tough for that. Walk it off. Stuff like that. When you dig deep enough into shit that's gone wrong, and I've had my share in my life, and then you start to look at reasons, why did my divorce break up? When you ask those, that's just a simple question. Why did I behave like this? Why did I say that? What is my programming? Can I change it? And the answer is yes. You just got to do some work on it. But that sort of something else I spotted this morning was seeing these funny things scrolling as we do about dating, because I'm thinking of maybe getting back into the dating scene again. I'm old enough to go play that game again. But then the question was, what sibling are you dating? So if you're the oldest, if you're dating the oldest sibling, they don't know how to communicate well, but they know how to do jobs and get it done, and they're determined and stuff like that. And that sort of triggered me. I went, I am the oldest sibling. I've got one younger sister. And I thought, well, that makes sense, because I've always struggled, as much as I can talk, I've always struggled with communicating the message sometimes. And in a relationship, that is a key point to do that. Yeah. And so there was other parts, and I got stuck on that point in the message. There was other bits like, if you're the youngest one, you're enabled, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
Like, your hands held and stuff like that, and you're gold plated. Everyone loves you. You have to be constantly reassured and stuff like that. That was sort of the simplistic way to do it. But there was a deeper meaning in all that, and I thought, that's something maybe I will dig into this week. More about why I'm the arrogant, overconfident Stewie P. Graham dominator. All those
dominator.
All the masks that I put on that people see that aren't, well, they are and they aren't me. So what we share on our socials, it's easy to share the happy times, but not everyone reads the journey or the not the sad time. Your mate dies and you put something up for his funeral, everyone will go heart emoji and stuff like that. But there's that middle ground of personal development that no one really posts about. No one used to, but more people do nowadays. And that's probably some of the stuff that I'm doing now, because for success in any business, you ask a footy player how much he trains for how much he plays on the weekend. Be 80-90% training to play that 2 hours on the weekend. And so he's got to work on himself, his fitness, his mental aspect, the skills, before he goes and plays that 2-hour game that we celebrate him for, whether he wins or loses. So that's like a lot. Yeah. A lot of businesses. I've failed a lot of businesses. Well, I share because I probably haven't done enough work behind the scenes to get the front shop right, or couldn't communicate it. Example being the Cheviot stud. So wrong hat. This is a fertilizer hat. So the Cheviot stud is effectively a failed business. Because
really,
well, what have I bred? 20 something years I've been breeding these sheep.
Yes.
And my biggest customer is Dad.
Yeah.
So not having repeat customers and people understanding the why is my communication issue. I know why. I know the results of why. But for me to sell the sheep, I have to communicate the reasons and have other people understand the why. Is it their why? Does it have an advantage for their business to have that why and make more money? So,
and that's getting that communication across is a it's another one of those bloody skills, isn't it?
Yeah. That's something. The more working in this business, the more I've learnt to communicate, and my message, like on these live videos. And if you had said to me 5 years ago that you would be leading Zoom calls with a group of men talking about work-related stuff and personal development, I would have laughed at you. I've gone, yeah, fuck it, I'll have a go, but I've no idea what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
But now it's common enough for me nowadays to be doing something like that, or part of the social media journey is that we spend more time on our phones. It is part of our business. We've got every farming app under the sun just about to run the farming business. Even set up my ENVD the other day.
Yes.
So, you know, that's the way the world is changing. I've changed. The world's changed. Everyone's changing. If you don't change, like if you can't evolve, you will become extinct, is the word. So, you know, you look at history for people that didn't evolve have become extinct. Unless you're an African tribe in the middle of a jungle somewhere and you haven't seen a white man ever.
Absolutely. It's just on that, Stuart. It's interesting. Like, I saw an ad yesterday, the day before, and it was for an app or some damn thing, and it just showed all these people who were smiling into their phone. And he said the world's changed, like, and this is the reality, is that, you know, there's all these jokes about, people who, you know, like you and I, when we're in our doshery old age, are going to be staring down at empty hands where our phones used to be. All this sort of stuff. This is what's happening now, and it makes me a little bit sad. But the thing is that it is here. It's a matter of learning how to use it to the best of our abilities, and on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Like I said, using it for the business, as well as our personal lives for entertainment, communication, whatever, but also how to healthily use it.
Yeah.
And like you're saying about supporting, you know, your teammate, for better or worse. That's where I'd like to see social media go, is that instead of all these trolls who get on and want to badmouth everyone, you know, there needs to be something to tell them, come on, like, this is a perfect opportunity to lift the world up.
Yep. And there's a great journey in that. So there's something that I would have fallen across, fell into, found, whatever description you want to use. The ability to change what I see in my social media, or also known as hacking the algorithm. Who sees my shit? Whose shit do I see? And then how does that affect my mindset? You know, you don't have to watch the cat falling off the cupboard or the cute puppy dog videos all the time, but you can watch, you know, people. So I'm watching a couple of guys at the moment, a couple of guys on weight loss journeys or fitness journeys, because that's inspirational to me. I don't think I need to lose any weight, but I want to be fitter. So that's that's you know, understanding what I'm seeing, or, you know, the simple thing. You've got to like a video, maybe follow someone, and then unfollow someone that's, if you're getting these troll videos, unfollow them and refresh the thing. Go find something else, or go down the pub and listen to your mates who they're watching, or follow your funny mate on Facebook. See what funny shit he gets up to. That's
absolutely
that's the way to hack the algorithm and change your world. Because as much as the world is in our phones, you still have the power to own your world and affect your world. And that's the greatest tool, apart from the business tools of the phone. It's probably the greatest tool we have, is the able to influence our own lives outside of the physical environment.
Yeah. Who was it? We were talking the other day, or maybe it was something I saw about social media is one thing, but what I'm talking about is our real life, off screen, is surrounding ourselves with 5, or was it 10? 5 really good people.
Top 5 people, yep.
Thank you. So, and that's, like that's what helps us build ourselves up personally in real life. Getting back to social media, I find Facebook is quite subtle in the algorithm for me personally, because my interests are very varied anyway. I had a major cull the other day on some rubbish that I just wasn't interested in anymore, wasn't interacting with, didn't want to interact with. Instagram, I notice, is a much kinder environment, but also a little bit better to detect the algorithm to see what's going on. The one I find most fascinating is Pinterest. I don't know if you use that or not, but it's a really great idea. Yeah, I find a really great idea finding base, and that thing, Pinterest is the biggest waste of time on me. I don't go on TikTok because Pinterest is my TikTok. So I'll get on there and I'll spend 10 minutes just blatantly scrolling, looking at stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That's a really cool farm idea. Cars, whatever. I'll refresh that feed, and whatever I was looking at mostly in the last 10 minutes will all of a sudden refresh with all the ideas based around what I've been scrolling at. That is just so, and again, it comes to real life. If you can do that with the digital world, it's amazing the impact it can have on your personal life if you surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, and that's probably a perfect segue into something that popped into my brain, this full squirrel brain that I've got. So getting good advisors on the farm. Something that makes a difference in our farm business is I get on well with the fertilizer guy. We're like best mates. And then some of the chemical people, we're like best mates. We don't just talk about chemicals and stuff like that. We're talking about what we play on the Xbox and what we did. I was talking to the fertilizer guy about picking rocks the other day. Just random stuff. Yeah. And he's going, yeah, I remember doing that. And I want to teach my kids to do that. I said, well, come out here. I've got no shortage of rocks, mate. So, but having that conversation, yes, his job is to sell me fertilizer, but having that conversation and that friendship, we don't just focus on the dollars and cents about it, and there's a different energy with it. So I'm still going to spend X amount of dollars anyway. I don't spend more. He's actually trying to save me money the best way possible. So that's he's doing his job.
Absolutely.
But to do it with a happy tone and a joke and stuff like that makes business pleasurable. So then you don't mind making those phone calls. You don't mind going to pick the rocks to send the fert guy a photo of the dirty big rock you just picked in the bucket that probably weighs a ton, or stuff like that. to have that interaction in business and life has made me a happier person to be around.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you're explaining with your top 5 people. Probably the top 5 people that I talk to are, mum and dad, but then I don't have to talk to them every day. But, the farm advisor, the FERT guy, the chem guy, and then people online, mates, are my top 5 people. And we're all happy, positive people. So then my whole energy or the cup or the bottle of life is just one happy, energetic place. And that's like you said, it's the top 5 people in your life, in your business, top 5 things on your Facebook or Pinterest feed that influence your life.
Yes.
So, that's the power that you have.
And it's amazing. That's all within our control.
Yeah. Yep. I remember when I was going through the dark times, and it still happens, but you might do a few dating apps, and then you get all these other robots on Facebook and Instagram start sending you friend requests and stuff like that. Come check out my pics. Click this link. It's like, come on. Oh, not falling for that one.
I know exactly the ones you're talking about.
Yeah. There are bloody hundreds and thousands of them, and I still get them today, even though I don't do dating apps. But they're still slipping into my DMs, sliding into my DMs. Click this link. You want to see photos? So, no, if I want to see photos, I'll look at your profile.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was in that dark place, my feed, my life was full of that. People looking for something. People wanting affection or whatever, quick fix. That's everything that filled up my feed until I found something in my feed, clicking an ad, like you did the other day, you talked about, clicking an ad and finding something out. And I go, this is something different. This, even if it doesn't miraculously make me $1 billion, it could. I'm working on it. Just got to do the 80% first. So if I've got to earn $1 billion, that means I've got to do $800 million worth of work. Factor that one in.
And this is like we talked about in the men's group last week, and like I said, I give you marks for stepping up like you did and chatting as you did. You got to change your mentality to having that $1 billion mindset. Showing up as future Stuart, future Muzz. I see Trevor just joined us a minute ago. Future Trevor. You step into who you want to be in the future.
Yeah, and it's good, and that's probably the greatest part of being involved in this business. Making the decision to start, and then finding, like I could put in the post. I said I found my crew, found you, Muzz, found these other blokes. We're our crew. We have that weekly call, and it's like that's like our pub chat, like this.
Absolutely.
And that's the influence in my, that's the top 5. What are you doing? What's your daily method of operation that you are doing to influence your life? Who are you watching? What are you eating for breakfast? Are you doing your push-ups? So I've been a bit slack this week. But are you doing push-ups? Are you going for a walk? Are you drinking enough water? Are you, what do you do? What's your daily actions to create the life that you want? Because it ain't just going to fall on your lap. You and 4 billion other people have got if I win lotto, I'll be able to do this. So probably the question is, what if you don't win lotto? What are you going to do?
Yeah. So a really interesting quote yesterday or the day before, and in regards to, I think it was Gandhi, I think I said that right, saying some of the greatest sins that he believes that a human being can commit, and there was a list of them. But one of the sins was receiving money without having worked for it. Yeah. Hey, look, I would love to win the lottery, but there is still something in having earned that money. That money is a reward for your time. And I know you've said this before in the farm fence here on Wednesday Wisdoms. You've traded your time for that money. So it's a reward for that time well spent.
Yeah. The thing about that, so in the case of winning lotto, and a lot of wealthy people will say this, is so that the billionaires could give everyone in the world $1 million, and within 5 years, all that money would end up back in the same hands. Because poor people have a poor mindset, rich people have a rich mindset, or there's people that are working on the actions to create wealth who will gain the money, be able to do something with the money, where people have, so you either invest your money to grow or you spend your money to be happy. Because if people say, it's true, if people say money can't buy happiness, they haven't had enough.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my happiest times
John,
a lot of money.
Absolutely. John Wayne reckons, money mightn't buy happiness, but it's damn sight easy to cry on a handful of notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Magic. So, check that out. Where is it? Like 40 sparrows.
Oh, swallows. I could hear them in the background there. Cheeky
they're doing
buggers.
Laps. Yeah.
They're getting ready to go racing too.
They're doing it all the time. Yeah, they're here for the driver's brief.
Oh, shit. Well, I might have to leave you with it, Stuart.
Yeah, I should probably stop working here, and I might head home and feed the young fella. He's happily playing Xbox, so that's his happy time. He's having his electronic.
He'll be lost in that VR.
Possibly.
Nah, look. Possibly. Virtual reality. Jesus, who'd have thought, eh?
Oh, that's another rabbit hole. We could talk about that one for hours. People about hacking the Matrix and what is reality and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. That's next week.
Your reality is what you make it. That's what it is.
Too right. Nah,
all right.
Well, look, thanks today, Stuart.
No worries. And I hope everyone that jumped on enjoyed this chat, and reach out to us if you want to make comments and interact, and reach out if you want to know more about a subject, mindset, progress, whatever. Race cars. I'll talk about race cars all fucking day. Don't you worry about that. But yeah,
absolutely.
It's been great having a chat with you. Enjoy your beer. I should go and get one. I've emptied that bottle of water. So that's 2 litres for the day. I need 2 litres for the afternoon. I've had a happy day.
Well, that sounds like a pretty big win to me. So definitely time for a Sunday session now.
Definitely. All right. You have a good one, Muzz.
You too, Stuart. Cheers, everyone. Have a good day.